तत्व की जय, परशुराम भगवान की जय, गिरि गोवर्धन की जय, नरसिम्हा भगवान की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरुदेव की जय. Let us start with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Welcome to devotees. Thank you for attending today's session. Yeah, today we are going to see 14th chapter and 8th sloka, the three modes of material nature. Yeah. Tamastu ajnana jam viddi mohanam sarvadehinam pramad dalasya nidrapis tan nibadnati bharata. Tamastu ajnanajam viddi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya nidrapis tannibadnati bharata. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness born of ignorance is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. So till now, Krishna has told us, he has spoken about the mode of goodness, Shattvaguna, mode of passion, the Rajoguna, and now he is speaking about the mode of ignorance, the Tamoguna. How this ignorance binds the living entities in this material world. This he is speaking in this 8th shloka, 14th chapter. Tamastu ajnana jam viddi. O Bharata, he's just telling Arjuna, O Arjuna, tamas, the mode of darkness, is born out of ignorance. Tamastu ajnana jam viddi, it is born out of ajnana, ignorance. And then he says, Mohanam Sarvadehinam. It puts all the living entities in this world to delusion. And what is the result of it? Pramadalasya nidrabis. Pramada and alasya nidrabis. These are the results. It gives rise to pramada, madness, alasya, laziness, and nidrabis, sleep. These are the things which gives rise to. And what happens because of this? Tan nibadnati bharata. This binds the conditioned souls. Oh Arjuna, these are the things which is happening because of the mode of darkness, mode of ignorance. So in Sattvaguna, we saw Krishna saying that the person is bound to happiness and full of knowledge. And then in Rajoguna, Krishna says, like, the person is bound to fruitive activity in Rajoguna. And then now here in ignorance, the person is bound to madness, laziness, and sleep. Krishna is very clearly explaining these three: madness, laziness, and sleep. Why? Because when the person is bound to ignorance, these are the results. So when we know all these three modes, Krishna is telling about everything. Like he told about goodness, he told about passion, and now he's telling about ignorance. By knowing all these three modes, what should we do? Yes, we should analyze ourselves. We should analyze which mode I am in. So let us discuss how to analyze these things, right? So how are we going to analyze which mode we belong to? What do we have? So here it is said, um, tu, this word. Here we have tamas tu ajnana. Tu is very significant. Prabhupada also gives in his purport saying, in this verse, the specific application of the word tu is very significant. This means that the mode of ignorance is a very peculiar qualification of the embodied soul. The mode of ignorance is just the opposite of mode of goodness. So Prabhupada is clearly saying mode of ignorance is just opposite to the mode of goodness. There is lot of clarity in the mode of goodness, but whereas in the mode of ignorance, people are under the spell of darkness, where there is a pramada, there is a madness. Because of this madness, the person's vision is being blocked, so there is no clarity. That's why he cannot understand, uh, he cannot understand anything. He cannot differentiate what is what when he is in the mode of ignorance. Therefore, the mode of ignorance is directly just opposite to the mode of goodness. In goodness there is lot of clarity. In mode of goodness there is no clarity. Because of darkness, people go into that madness. Because of that madness, it is blocking our vision, so that they don't understand what is what. In this way it is quite opposite. And now in passion, what is happening? Passion, Krishna is saying here, the mode of ignorance is quite opposite to the mode of passion also. In passion, what is happening? Persons who are passionate are more enthusiastic, but the person who are in the mode of ignorance, they are not enthusiastic, they are very lazy. Here person in passion, they are more enthusiastic, they work for fruitive actions. But whereas the lazy persons who are in the ignorance, who are completely in darkness, they don't want to do anything, they are reluctant for anything, whatever it is. So in this way, mode of ignorance is also opposite to the mode of passion. So therefore, mode of ignorance is totally opposite to the mode of goodness, and also totally opposite to the mode of passion. In the passion, in the mode of goodness, sattva guna, person is working purely. He's always working, he's always doing his bhakti, and always dedicated himself for the service of the Lord. In the passion, a person who's working for fruitive action, later later in the future, the results he gets, he may offer it to the supreme person in the mode of passion. But in ignorance, the person who, he will never get anything. Ignorance doesn't produce anything. Goodness produces purity, passion produces, like in passion, people, a person who are working for the fruitive action, he will offer that to Krishna. But in ignorance, ignorance doesn't produce anything, nothing. It just produces zero. So totally, it is just a degradation. It is just a degradation for the humans. So in goodness, inactivity is there. Definitely, there is inactivity, but that inactivity, how is that? The person will not get into various different activities which is not related to Krishna. So there is definitely inactivity, but that inactivity in the mode of goodness is full of knowledge, complete knowledge. In ignorance, there is inactivity, but this inactivity in ignorance is quite opposite from the inactivity with goodness. Goodness inactivity, it is packed, it is loaded with knowledge. But the inactivity, the reluctantness in the mode of ignorance is different. This inactivity, it's completely with lack of knowledge. There is zero knowledge, whereas in goodness it is packed, it is full of knowledge. So in this way also we can understand that ignorance and goodness is completely opposite. So these are the points which Prabhupada stresses here. Ignorance is completely opposite. How is it opposite to goodness and passion? So let us see some more examples what Prabhupada gives here, so that we can understand much deeper. In general, day to day case, in a family, if some elder passes away, if he dies, then it is seen that, like, from this, what do we understand? It is seen so many people have passed away, have died in past. So what does this tell us? It proves, it means that everyone in this material world who are born are definitely going to die at one point of time, right? But we don't know when it is, but definitely it is going to happen. So that is what we come to know, right? These are the examples. But a person who is in ignorance will always say that I will not die, whatever it may come, I'm going to be alive. That's what his mood is. The person who is in ignorance, he thinks that he's not going to die. This is called complete illusion. Nothing will happen to me, I will not die. Oh yeah, everything is happening, but nothing is going to happen to me. This is complete illusion, this is complete darkness. So there was a question asked to Yudhishthira Maharaj, like, Maharaj, what is the most surprising thing in this world for you? So Maharaj said, like, Yudhishthira Maharaj said, so many people in this world are keep on are dying each and every day, every minute. The death is happening, but still there are other people. There are some people that think that nothing is going to happen to them. They are not going to die, and this is very, very surprising for me. That's what Yudhishthira Maharaj said. This is a fact. Even we can analyze ourselves, right? Like, we should think, we should, like, contemplate what is happening with us too, even for ourselves. How much serious, how many of us are very serious about this topic of death? Every now and then we keep hearing in news, we read news, we see all the updates online, we see TV newses saying like, oh, this many people are dying because of this disease, and this calamities happen, this earthquake, this tsunamis, hurricanes, and oh, this person died because of this accident, and a lot of things we are hearing and seeing, and yeah, getting to know from everyone. But how many of us are on top of getting to know all these things, sitting at home and then thinking, yeah, everything is happening, but nothing will happen to me? So how many of us are thinking like that? This is purely ignorance. So we have to understand one thing from this aspect. Anytime anything can happen, anytime we can die. Our lifespan is compared, like, to just a water bubble on the surface of the water. No one can tell when the water bubble is going to break, right? So our lifespan is also like that. No one can tell, other than Krishna. No one can, like, tell when our death is going to come, when are we going to die. It is very important that we come out of this ignorance. We have to come out of this ignorance, and we have to have a proper vision, proper knowledge that any time I can die. That is, like, that knowledge we have to have, that proper vision we have to have. When does that proper vision come? We have to come out of ignorance, then only that proper vision will happen. So yeah, just a minute, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, yeah. So now, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, we have the proper vision. We have to know, like, death is also going to come to me. We have to come out of ignorance, and we have to know that. But now, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to practice bhakti intensely. That is the pure knowledge. That is the sattva guna. I have to practice bhakti intensively, because death is like death is like the final exam. We don't know when the final exam is going to come. We don't know. It is all surprise. This final exam is a surprise exam for us. Yamaraj may come at any time and he can say surprise. So this exam is also like a surprise exam, and for any exam it is like a preparation should be there, right? So devotional service is like a preparation. So for the surprise exams, we cannot just go there and sit without preparation and write. We should be prepared at any time. Okay, now if the teacher is saying in 10 minutes, right now you take this exam, we should be prepared to write that exam. So what is that preparation? We have to study in terms of academics. I'm just telling, we have to study and be prepared. Okay, these like we have to be prepared for this exam. At any point I'm going to answer all the question. That is the preparation. But in our life, what is the exam coming? The surprise exam coming is the death. And how are we going to prepare and be ready for the exam? That is devotional service. We have to do devotional service each and every single day. Each and every single day we call Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Each and every day when we call Krishna and when we plead intensively, chanting him, please put me in your devotional service. That is the mood which we have to have. When we have this, when we practice, when we be prepared for our exam like in this way, then the surprise exam, whenever it comes, we can be successful in taking that exam. So we have to be prepared very well. That's what Prabhupada says here. We also have to ask ourselves, am I doing my devotional service properly? Am I doing justice for the opportunity which Krishna has given me in this life? So we have to keep thinking, we have to contemplate ourselves each and every day, because this is very hard. Even a minute if we stop thinking about this devotional service, about this bhakti, there is high chance for us to fall down to the mode of ignorance. If we are not doing devotional service properly, and if we think that we are not justifying for the opportunity which it is given, if we think that we are not doing this, then this is the high time. We have to take it. We have to really take it, and we have to do enthusiastically. We have to practice bhakti intensively and enthusiastically. We have to spend real good amount of time for practicing devotional service. Else ignorance is like it is just sitting there right next to us. It will easily gulp us in no matter of time. So we have to push ourselves. We have to be a little hard for us. We have to go out of way and make time. Are we spending enough amount of time in for our bhakti? Are we reading Bhagavad Gita, or hearing Bhagavad Gita, or hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, associating with the devotees? And are we doing any temple seva? Each and every day we have to contemplate. We have to keep thinking, if not, this is the high time, let me do. That one keeps away from the mode of ignorance, and tries to put us in the mode of goodness. And here Prabhupada also says, still people are madly accumulating money and working very hard all day and night, not caring for the eternal spirit. This is madness. In their madness, they are very reluctant to make advantage in spiritual understanding. So we have to understand Bhagavad Gita. We have to read Bhagavad Gita, and there are a lot of people we can see in our day-to-day life. Oh, I don't have time to read Bhagavad Gita. Oh, I don't have time to attend the classes. Oh, no, no, no. Like, I'm very busy. My whole schedule is completely busy. Okay, what are you doing then? Oh, no, I have to go for my work. I have to, like, my appraisal is coming. Like, my promotions are coming. I have to work hard. Earn for what? I have to maintain my family. A lot of things. Yes, of course. Like, Bhagavad Gita never says, don't earn. It says, like, put some interest in your spiritual life too. Don't get so much engrossed. Don't get so much engrossed into the material life. Forget, don't, Bhagavad Gita never says don't get engrossed, like, into so much of material life. It never says forget spiritual life. It says, it definitely, like, money is needed up to a certain level, but maximum of the time, try to put your time for your spiritual life. Try to be serious. Else this madness will occupy. When we go into the mode of ignorance, the madness will occupy our mind, and it will make us not to differentiate what is good and what is bad, and we will be totally ignorant. And at the last minute also, if we think, okay, we have to prepare, and, like, no, last minute of preparation, nothing works for the exam. So it is similar to that. So therefore, madness people don't give any importance. These people who are completely materialistic, always work, and they don't give any they don't spend any time for the spiritual practice. These people are mad. They don't give any importance or attention to the spiritual knowledge. So those people, Prabhupada clearly says, they are lazy, too much lazy. They are lazy. Such people are very lazy. When they are invited to associate for spiritual understanding, they are not much interested. So here, laziness is a very, very good example of ignorance. In our initial stages of devotional service, it is very important to force ourselves, else it will never happen. We have to force ourselves to attend the satsang, and also to associate with the devotees, and to go to the temples and do devotional service, seva, or whatever it is, which puts us in the spiritual path. If we don't do, then we cannot advance. It is very clear, we really cannot advance. Ignorance will just, like, eat us. Whenever we think, oh, today, I'm very tired, my leg is paining or something like that, and I cannot attend this morning program, I cannot hear this satsang, oh, it is too much boring. The moment we just relax a little bit because of laziness, immediately, immediately that ignorance will occupy. So what should we do? The moment when we have a thought like this, oh, today I cannot do, immediately we should say no to that. We ourselves should say no to that. No, 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 I will not do it, I will get back. As soon as this no thought comes, immediately we have to skip that thought, and we have to be strong to make it happen. Yes, today I'm going to attend this program, today I have to definitely associate with these devotees, today I have to go do this extra rounds of chanting. I am not going to just say no to that immediate action we have to take. We have to bounce back to that laziness thought. Until unless we bounce back, whatever it is, chanting, reading, associating with devotees, whatever it may be, when we bounce back to that no, then that laziness will just, like, run away from us, else it will just, like, eat us. Prabhupada also says that the another symptom of one embedded in the mode of ignorance is that he sleeps more than is required. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient, but a man in the mode of ignorance sleeps 10, at least 10 or 12 hours a day. So this is, in this age of Kali Yuga, this is like this is very, very important. People work late hours. They say, oh, we are working for the US time. Yeah, it is 2 o'clock every day, so that's what I go to bed. And they get up a morning. Oh, I go to bed and get up early in the morning at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is the early in the morning for them, but 10 o'clock is not early morning. Brahma Muhurta is from 3:40 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. This is the early timing. The Brahma Muhurta timing is the early timing. We have to manage everything. We have to manage our sleep and everything. 6 hours of sleep is very sufficient. That's what Prabhupada says. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient. And in depth, if we just see the sleep timing, when we sleep from 9 to 12, the 3 hours, when we sleep for 3 hours, we get rest which is equal to 6 hours. The 3 hours of sleep, 9 to 12 sleep, gives us a rest of 6 hours, and then from 12 to 3 we are sleeping, right? That 3 hours of sleep will give a rest of 3 hours only. Then this from 3 to 6, the 3 hours of sleep will give a rest of only 1.5 hours. So it's very clear. I just wanted to repeat this one more time because it's very important for us, I believe. 9 to 12 when we sleep, the amount of rest we are getting is equal to 6 hours. And 12 to 3, that sleep time, the 3 hours of sleep time gives us 3 hours of rest. 3 to 6, the 3 hours of sleep time gives us 1.5 hours of rest time. So after 6 p.m., there is no rest. Even if we just lie down, that sleep time in the sense like just lying down also, it doesn't give a rest to our body. Our mind is active after 6 o'clock. So even if you are on the bed after 6 o'clock also, it doesn't matter for the rest. Your body is not getting any rest at all. So this is the nature what has given to us. We should see how we should try to embrace the nature, how it has wonderfully given us. We should some way, we should know the way of living life. Why not we are following so many other things. Why not we follow this nature, what it has given us? Naturally our bodies are set like this, from 9 to 6. That is the perfect timing, perfect sleep timing. But the Brahma Muhurta, this is very important. Brahma Muhurta time, 3:40 to 6:30 a.m. When we do chanting at that time, our spiritual progress will be really good. So instead of following our own ideas and our own lifestyle by modifying and spoiling it, why not we follow what nature has given us, right? So oversleeping will definitely spoil. That's what Prabhupada insists here. Such a man appears to be always dejected and is addicted to intoxicants. The people who oversleeping person, addicted to intoxicants and sleeping. These are the symptoms of a person conditioned by the mode of ignorance. So more sleep, when a person sleeps more, it will lead to nonsense activities. He will start doing all the nonsense activities, he'll not have any clear vision or anything. Then he the laziness and more sleep, it will all go into intoxication. So, and again, because of this, he will go more deeper and deeper into the darkness. And once if he goes deeper and deeper, then it is very, very tough for him to come out of this. So we have to really put a checkpoint over here. So what we are, where are we? And we have to think, and if we are there in that right path, it's well and good. If we are on the wrong path, just let us make our decisions right today, and then let us do our bhakti. Let us bounce back to our thoughts which is saying no to us, and let us do bhakti intensively. So that only will take us to the mode of goodness. As a devotee, we have to make our time in such a way that we spend most of our time in goodness and practice our devotional service. So when we do this, when we are following this, we can elevate ourselves very easily from goodness to Shuddha Sattva. So now, like Krishna has told us about the mode of ignorance also. Until this slokas, he has explained elaborately about mode of goodness, passion, and today in this sloka, mode of ignorance. And in coming sloka, he's just summarizing all the three modes. And let us wait for tomorrow's class and hear that explanation. Thank you, Matajis and Prabhujis, for attending today's session. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindobhyavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Any doubts and comments, you're welcome. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me this opportunity. Hare Krishna.